here. Obviously Keown and Adams we know beforehand they're going to have to face one of the most competitive centre forwards around, but those two can do that, no doubt about that. I think we'll find Overmars today will play pretty far forward in this setup. I think he's one who's enjoyed this. They're at home. It'll be interesting to see the front two, how they operate. Ray and Anelka, we know if Bergkamp had been playing, he would be dropping off into areas. Not so sure if either of those will do that. They might just both play right up top as a duo. The drive, the work rate, it comes from those three. Everton are going to have to match that if they're going to get anything out of this game.
Everton have gone for experience. 36-year-old Dave Watson back to marshal the defence. That could release Slaven Bilic to stiffen the midfield. There's also a place for Peter Beagrie, brought back recently by Howard Kendall on loan from Bradford. But there's no John Spencer, whose switch from Queen's Park Rangers was upgraded last week to a permanent move. Spencer is injured. John O'Kane returns after suspension, presumably with plenty of good wishes from his friends at his former club, Manchester United.
Well, I've no doubt this team is set out to stall not to lose the game. I think it's important they don't concede too much ground at the back, defend deep. Bilic and Hutchison are going to have to compete against Vieira and Petit. That should be an absolutely fascinating battle. But when you're defending, you need an outlet. I think Bambi and Beagrie will be the two to get up top and support Ferguson whenever they go forward.
One more bridge to cross.
Highbury, never more relevant than today. They could have sold out several times over for this potentially historic day. Everton have been more together on their travels than they've been really at Goodison Park. Let's take a look at their last 7 away games. They've won 1, they've drawn 5, and they've only lost once. That was at Southampton on a day when they missed a penalty. And maybe Derby County gave Everton a blueprint here on Wednesday night. They pushed Arsenal all the way. So it's Everton to kick off. Quite simply fighting for their Premiership lives as Arsenal chase the 1 win needed. And remember, they've 2 more games after this. But 1 win from 3 matches will give them the title. The prize so close in every sense. The trophy here at Highbury, those most valued of medals ready and waiting. But that all adds to the pressure. You have to say Arsenal have dealt with it very well so far. Here's Peter Beagrie.
Well, you use that word, Martin, pressure. Now, I'll tell you, I look at 2 teams out there. There's only one team I can see under pressure, and it ain't the team in red and white.
Beagrie challenged by Vieira, but if Arsenal don't do it today, Andy, those away games at Liverpool and at Aston Villa, they suddenly don't look at all easy, do they?
I look at twitchy, but you're talking real pressure at the other end of the table, Martin, and that's where Everton are. That's what's fascinating about this game.
Forward pass by Manu Petit.
Yeah, Bilic has started midfield as we thought, Martin. And alongside Don Hutchison.
Beagrie.
Well, that's what you find, I think, what we said. I think long balls, an awful lot of them, I would guess, today, aimed at Duncan Ferguson. And then I think Beagrie and Bambi have been given license. If that's the case, you two go. We ain't risking too many others from there, but you two will have the ability and the freedom to go and join Ferguson.
Well, Arsenal conceded only 2 goals in the last 13 league games. And Don Hutchison's shot carried a bit of threat then, but didn't get too far. Winterburn. And they've sprung players in here, and it's Christopher Ray with a chance for Arsenal.
Oh, what a break. I mean, people talking about this team breaking now, it's so reminiscent of Manchester United at the very best, Mark. Look how many people get ahead of the ball. That's a wonderful save from Myra. Early in the game, kept his eye on it.
Corner to Arsenal. Taken by Petit. Goalkeeper in the thick of it again. The successor to Neville Southall, Thomas Mura from Norway. Winterburn.
See, what a ball from
wonderful
Winterburn.
season.
What a ball from Nigel. I thought he was going to play it down the line. to Anelka, but looked across and switched it beautifully. These are big moments, I think, for Everton, man. I think Howard Kendall would have said if we can keep it tight for 15, 20 minutes, you never know. People get edgy. There isn't a player out there that doesn't have nerves, that doesn't get edgy. I don't believe there is anyway, so if we can keep it tight, then who knows?
Beasley tracking back against the adventure of Lee Dixon. Good play from Peter Beasley. Another thing Howard Kendall would surely have mentioned is, although Arsenal have many strengths in this team, they're missing Bergkamp, and his ability in a tight match to maybe unlock a side that Howard Kendall has put out with a strong defensive spine to it, he hopes. Watson in there, in between Short and Carl Tyler at the back. Bilic, a natural defender in midfield. On one side, Beasley on the other, defending also the wider areas in front of the ball on this near side, and John O'Kane on the other side. Now it's going to be a free kick against Everton. Gerald Ashby, incidentally, is the referee, or is it? It's his final game. The referee has overruled his assistant, and it's Everton's ball.
Yeah, they were talking about free kick here, but obviously if Ray Parlour plays the ball, Patrick Vieira's just drifted offside. There the free kick comes, but the first offence is the offside. That's why Everton have the free kick.
Ferguson, who scored a mighty goal here for Everton last season, but it came too late. That's Bilic, who's blocking by Petit, and Arsenal have got 3 against 3. Overmars on the ball. Now could have one side, Ray to the other side. What's Overmars going to do? He gives it to Christopher Ray. He in turn to Vieira, and Everton get back. Hutchison around Vieira very quickly.
Tell you what, the 3 centre-backs did well, ever so well. The positions, what they were saying to Mark Overmars. Well, this is a bright start from Arsenal. Really confident, really up.
That is definitely a free kick in favour of Ray Parlour.
Well, the amount of height Everton, Mark, we've talked about, the big side that Howard Kendall sent out here today, but I still wouldn't be too happy about giving away needless free kicks in this sort of area.
Martin Keown, once of Everton, comes forward. Tony Adams, of course.
Well, I said it could be dangerous, and here's why. I don't think Bilic does enough at the back post. I don't know if that's Tony Adams, Mark. Does that come off Adams? Is it Bilic that heads it? Well, it might be Adams. He's certainly away right away. But this is a bosh on the forehead.
Everton are behind. Here's Ray Parlour. And here's Nicholas Anelka. And Arsenal don't worry at all about who is credited with getting the goals. It's being in front that matters to all here. There's been a lot of tension around Highbury from the supporters, worried about the fact that this is the last home game, concerned about any failure today to take full advantage of playing at Highbury for the last time this season. But the players made a very brisk beginning. They've already been rewarded for that. They've got another corner.
To be fair, Arsenal have come right out the traps, absolutely flown out them. Set the start right from the first whistle, going forward, putting pressure on, playing at pace. Everton have it settled. We've got the reward.
Another set piece for Everton to defend. Barnby. Well, Slaven Bilic, who moved from London, from West Ham to Everton, he hoped to better himself in the Premiership, and now obviously feeling, as all the Everton players must be feeling, that maybe they won't be in the Premiership next season. Vital for Howard Kendall's team to bed into this game quickly, and they haven't been able to do that. Arsenal lead, Winterburn on the ball, and here's Overmars, across goes Watson. Ray going to the near post. Out comes Mura and makes light of an awkward save.
Good take. He's unlucky. He started well, the goalkeeper. Good save and a good catch there.
No break for Anelka there because the flag has gone up. The Premiership formed in '92, coming to the end of its 6th season. 4 titles for Manchester United.
The pressure of Adams. No control over the header.
Ray Powell. Dixon infield. Arsenal trying to get the job done early here. Vieira. Petit. Malquillo. Winterburn, who has 2 championship medals already. Kieran, who began at Arsenal but missed out in the 89 and 91 triumphs because he was away developing his career elsewhere, but he's come back into the fold and he's looking for his first major honour, and Arsenal are, well, within touching distance now. Kane joining that defensive core. One player who was very disappointed. We're talking a lot about the French influence at Arsenal, but Everton's French forward Mikhail Madar, who was left out, and I understand hasn't taken it too kindly, but there may be the need for change later on. That could involve him. Anelka. Everton finding it hard to get out of their own half, Andy.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at Beagrie and Bambi's position, Mark. I thought they'd play a little bit more infield. I think when you're playing with wing-backs ahead of 3 centre-backs, you don't really need too much, two wide men playing wide as well. It's left Ferguson totally exposed on his own. It gives them an awful lot of distance to travel if they're going to get up in contact. I mean, that's a tremendous start from Arsenal. Look at that.
Hutchison. Well, Arsene Wenger, the manager of the month for April, in addition to March, on the verge of being made manager of the season. Vieira. Here's Keown. Crowd enjoyed the little trickery from Martin Keown. Everton still firmly on the back foot. Winterburn. This is Anelka.
Never looked confident to me on his left side. Certainly not as confident as he would have been on his right. But it's a lovely move again. Little give and go from Winterburn, but then he's astute enough to just stick a great little pass through. You can see Anelka though, not convincing. Side foot, wasn't a brilliant strike. Never going to beat the goalkeeper from there. I think on the other side it might have been a bit more convincing.
Picked on by Ferguson. Cleared by Adams. Stretch by Carl Tyler. Overmars already on the move and dragging O'Kane with him, allowing the space for Winterburn to move into. Fowler.
Well, that's a booking.
For John Hutchison.
Quick feet from Fowler, just nicks it away. Kind of no arguments. Talked about pressure, Mark, before the game that Arsenal would have felt because of the 2 games that remain had they not They would not win today, but I tell you what, a goal in the first 5 minutes. What pressure they're saying now. You can see the pace has slowed down. What they're doing now, that along the back four, they're happy to take an extra pass, 2 and 3 at times. Because Slaven Bilic is, this is sure. I think he could have done better. But he gave his goalkeeper no chance, I have to say.
As the other goalkeeper reflected the joy for Arsenal coming from an early lead. And when you've conceded 2 in the previous 13, must be a great deal of confidence that 1-0 might be enough.
What, 1-0 to Arsenal? Where have I heard that before?
Ray, Vieira. Lovely link up with Anelka. It's great play from Arsenal. The flag has gone up, and 1 or 2 issues to be taken into account here.
Well, I think Anelka's not Anelka. I think Ray's off mark, but I don't think Anelka was. The 2 out of 3 here. I thought Parla and Ray were both offside, but I didn't think Anelka was. And had Anelka picked up the ball, it would have been an interesting decision.
Winterburn. Anelka's got to hold. Ray with the header for Ray Parla. Good stop by Mura again. Lovely football from Arsenal. They are relishing the occasion.
They're absolutely ripping it apart here with the movement, the run, the power, the football. Look at Ray Parla suddenly popping up in his centre forward position. And at the moment, Everton have had no answer at all to this running inability.
Hit corner by Petit. Well, the decision is being made by Wendy Toms.
Well, this is the one as it's popped back. Now look at Anelka's run, Martin. Well, the far side is John O'Kane playing him offside, but you can certainly see Anelka's nowhere near offside. Ray Parler's just out of short there. He was ahead of those 2. He might well have been.
Well, you had a little chuckle at the 1-0 scenario, and of course that was often said about the George Graham methodology. Very, very effective, and a tremendous record Arsenal had under George Graham, including 2 championships. But the ex-Arsenal manager has been amongst the first to pay tribute to the style of this Arsenal team. And of course they have won a number of games 1-0 in this fantastic sequence of success, but others by much more substantial margins, and it's the splendour of their play as much as the efficiency of it that is having the country sitting up and taking notice and enjoying what Arsenal are doing on their way surely to the Championship now.
It's the level of the confidence that I think is quite astounding, Martin. At the moment, I don't think there's a player out there in red and white believes that there's nothing he can't do.
Well, historians going back to a great era for Arsenal in the 30s, they were known as lucky Arsenal then. We've heard them called boring Arsenal in more recent times. But this is admirable Arsenal. And the man who seemed to be named to manage Arsenal, Arsene Wenger, is responsible for it. But it's not to devalue what the players are doing to mix efficiency with improvisation, and it's all adding up to winning football and great entertainment. Adams, who actually is the youngest of the back 4 for Arsenal. Pleased that I pointed that out. Here's Barmby though. Everton picks a team to contain, have now got to do more than that.
They've got to get in the game first. I think that's what they've got to do. They've got to make sure they don't concede another. And I think if Everton go 2 down, then that's good night.
Barmby Ferguson. He's gone on to the far post. Ferguson getting into his territory as well. Michael Ball has been playing very, very well. He's still only 18 and eligible for the youth team with Everton, a Youth Cup finalist. They won the first leg on Friday night. You might have seen it live on the Sky Sports. And a contrast to what's been happening at the senior level in the club. Winterburn. Overmars makes his move. Trapped by O'Kane. Header by Petit. And it's back with Adams. Andy, when you looked at the team formations about the role of Mark Overmars, and there was a stage in the season where I think they were trying to train him to be a left-sided British midfield player, if you like, concentrating on his weaknesses rather than playing to his strengths, but they've taken the reins off, and that's going to be a foul against Anelka. It's one of those decisions that could go either way.
Yeah, it's a tough decision. This is Anelka's pace. Gets him in here, just gives him a little nudge. And he has got blistering pace, unbelievably so. I think you're right about Overmars, and I think that's when he was having this quiet spell. Full marks to the manager, or the coaching staff, or whoever. Suddenly decided, all right, we've got enough protection with Petit and Vieira there, and Parla, three real grafters, three workhorses, if you like. Although they're better than that, of course.
But hearing from the dressing room gossip, it was also pointed out to Petit and Vieira what they had to do so that with Overmars could be allowed to happen, and it's all worked out so well.
Well, a big cheer's gone up because
we haven't even mentioned this fella yet. By Dixon, but that works well enough for Arsenal because Vieira was alert. Parla. Vieira goes outside it. Parla uses him as a decoy. That was really running into a congested part of the pitch, congested with players in all blue. Barmby. Beagley trying to thread it through. Winterburn. Tight corner. Winterburn not one to get flustered. I know it was with a twinkle in your eye and a sense of humour, Andy, that you mentioned at the England game the other week that Glenn Hoddle could do worse than pick the Arsenal back four.
Well, he could, couldn't he?
Because Scotland will be picking Duncan Ferguson. That's the player's choice. Bilic. Got to look back before the game at what happened when Dennis Bergkamp's been missing in the past for Arsenal. Suspension in the first half of the season, and they lost a couple of away games when he wasn't playing. But during his more recent absence for that red card at West Ham, of course the results kept on going Arsenal's way, and they lead without Bergkamp here. Very responsible for that. Slaven Bilic trying to get Everton going. Overmars and Anelka, and Mura comes, doesn't get there.
Well, when you leave a gap behind you, you are risking that ball over the top. Ain't going to catch Anelka. It's a bit unlucky.
Petit, it's Christopher Ray, and the goalkeeper's got an easier task this time.
Well, the goalkeeper did well, first one down as well, Martin. He was quick enough out just to put Anelka off. Look at him, just a bend of the line. Just keeps them both on side. Goalkeeper doesn't do an awful lot, but put himself there. Well, that was enough.
O'Kane to Hutchison. Everton's last game, let me remind you, is at home to Coventry. Now Campbell finding himself in a most unusual situation, given his distinguished managerial career.
So he launched into that tackle against Hutchison in the far touchline mark and hobbled up out of it.
Well, Everton have a free kick past the halfway mark in the first half. Carl Tyler goes forward, so too behind him comes Craig Short. Bilic is there, trying to get a header right at the right end. Nick Barmby to take the free kick. Well, with Duncan Ferguson around, Arsenal can never breathe easily in those situations.
This isn't a bad free kick, it's the right kind of area, it's where you want the ball going out. They just do enough, Arsenal, defensively to stop any Everton player getting a run at it.
Everton started their week with a bonding exercise, a day at the races at Pontefract. I haven't seen too much of Howard Kendall. He's been in Greece looking at players for next season. Thank goodness they need to be together now, as Arsenal try to come at them again. Ray. Oh, got a foot in. And it's Hutchison. Beagrie. Here's Ball. An interception made to look very artistic by Manu Petit. Vieira, Marcus offside.
Unlucky again. Look, I'm just going across the field looking, just doesn't bend the run enough that time. Good decision.
Bilic. Found by Vieira on Hutchison. Barmby's found a bit of room here. That could have concerned Arsenal. From the former Tottenham man. Miller has to come out of his own penalty area again.
It looks like Everton have changed it slightly, Martin, in the fact that Nicky Barmby is now playing more central alongside Duncan Ferguson. Peter Beagrie's on the right-hand side. I think it will mean that the man on the ball, Lee Dixon, might get plenty of it.
At the moment, there's plenty of work for Wendy Toms. And adjudicating for offside. Vieira. Overmars. Breakdown in communications there with Petit. Bilic in an unfamiliar position. Fowler. Christopher Ray coming to get a touch for two Spartanacci, lets it run, and it's Lee Dixon, who hasn't been amongst the scorers this season. The goalkeeper didn't claim it, and maybe a hand used by Dixon.
Well, they get away with it, the goalkeeper, but he's probably deserved this little bit of luck because he's been really busy and he's played really well. Lee Dixon's a little unlucky that he falls over, but you can see quite clearly the handball. Love a little step over from Anelka. Great awareness of Dixon's run.
Defensively that Everton have isn't really compensating for maybe the lack of exceptional pace. Okay, of course was in the same Manchester United youth team as the likes of Beckham and Scholes and Neville brothers. Never quite broke through at Old Trafford, though he did have some first-team games. Here's Short. And Harry Lewin wanting the referee to stop the game so that he can attend to Petit. Everton go on with Peter Beagrie. And Anelka wins it back. And Arsenal now don't want the game to be stopped because they've got Overmars.
Well, I think you can start putting the champagne on ice. Goalkeeper who's played so well, gets the hand to it, but doesn't just do enough. And he's paced one, he's Watson, he backs off, and all he does Overmars is shift it half a yard onto his left side. One touch, there it goes, next one's the hit. Goalkeeper should save it, he doesn't. And
now is a stoppage play to allow some attention for Petit. But for this Flying Dutchman, 14 goals this season. As I say, they've taken the reins off him in the second half of the season. Well, the yellow card for the culprit was shown to John O'Kane. But Highbury rocking to championship celebrations. 2-0 Arsenal lead.
the party's begun, Martin. The party's begun.
Arsenal have regularly carried the fight for the London clubs in the Championship. Dennis Bergkamp can't do any more for the Championship cause, it seems. But the double Footballer of the Year has set the standards that have taken Arsenal this far. Well, an hour to go, a happy hour at Highbury it seems for Arsenal Football Club. Winterburn. Dave Watson's been an outstanding defender, a championship medal of his own back in '87 with Everton, but when Mark Overmars came at him here, Watson couldn't stop the shot coming in, and Mura couldn't deal with it either. Arsene Wenger just waiting to see it trickle over the line. And pole position for Arsenal now. Ferguson. Short. What will the Everton response be? Here's Craig Short again. Okay. Hutchison. Overmars showing that he can defend and keep that shape on the left-hand side. Here's Parler. Arsenal with so many options at such pace. Dixon. Remember, they haven't been beaten in the Premiership since Christmas. 17 games in that run before today, 14 wins and 3 draws, 45 points out of 51. I mean, that takes some believing at this level. That's Anelka.
What a hit. Unbelievable power, this young lad. Gets when he's shooting, he's got brilliant shooting ability. I think that's something we don't often give him credit for, because he's normally running past defenders in that sort of area.
Well, we saw it against Manchester United, didn't we? And Arsene Wenger's been mentioning that game this week, and also the win at Chelsea, because it's the ability to win the big games that Arsenal didn't have last season. They did finish third, remember, but we saw a number of games on this ground where they came up short. But this season, when the challenge has been there, they have been up to it. In a league, as Arsene Wenger has pointed out himself often enough. Oh, it's Wenger team again with Anelka getting the drop on Watson. Is it going to be number 3? Oh, for Vieira, it should have been.
Well, that piece of play just typifies what this after side, apart from the finish, has been all about, Mark. It's Vieira there, putting a midfield player under pressure, winning the ball. It's the pace of Anelka to carry it on. Vieira joins up. The only thing lacking in this particular move was the finish. He's saying, have a goal, son, if you want one. Couldn't keep it down.
Well, Gerald Ashby was indicating to Mura to get on with the game, but he needs a ball to do that. And it looks as though someone might have a souvenir in the crowd. But it is a league, the Premiership, where any one team on any one day can beat any other. And that makes Arsenal's run so remarkable. Dixon is going to get a booking here. There's no room for sentiment and sympathy. The laws of the game there to be applied, and Gerald Ashby says, I didn't like that.
That's the one that took Don Hutchison down. Ray Parlour catches him.
But it was Dixon who came in, and he's been booked. But there are two sides of this story, Andy. Obviously, we're going to emphasise the positive, but from Everton's point of view, after Bolton's win yesterday, looking bleak. Here's Barmby though. Overmars. A lot of players have come forward at that set piece for Everton, and they're trying to get back against Arsenal's class on the counter-attack. Parlour and Nelka letting it run, and in doing so he just allowed the ball to escape.
Wanted it earlier, Mark. That was his problem, and Elka could have had the ball 15 yards before Parlour finally released it. He wants it now. He wants it in the gap. There he goes. It doesn't come, and he has to check his run, and he's on the back foot just a little when the ball finally arrived.
Ferguson trying to link up with Barmby. Definitely two up top for Everton now. Only one forward at this moment for Arsenal. Forward for Everton by Shaw. Tyler. Teed just a little cautious in his movement. Twice he's been troubled by challenges in this first half. The player of the month for April. Arsenal have been getting so many awards.
The one they're interested in.
Exactly.
The one they're playing for today.
I'll start the sentences and you finish them.
Okay.
By Carl Tyler, and here's Barmby chasing Petit, moving well enough there. Arsenal's last defeat mid-December in the league, and Blackburn came here and really played them off the park. Who would have thought that day? We'll be looking at this scenario on the first Sunday in May. Village. Okay, the problem Everton have got is trying to impose themselves more as an attacking force, but Howard Kendall will know that in doing that there is a grave danger of the being absolutely torn to shreds by Arsenal's capacity to counter-attack.
I don't think Arsenal are too worried about having to defend at any time in this game now, Mark, at 2-0. And obviously won't want to lose a goal, but I just think that the fact that Everton have to push forward means that Anelka and Ray and Overmars might just find a little bit of space over the top.
Mark Overmars, championship winner in Holland on 3 occasions with Ajax. But with all respect to the Dutch league, this is something different. Anelka. Ray Parlour is onside. He's picked out Vieira, who's missed one chance already. Overmars. And Christopher Ray like a a good forward. Wasn't wasting any time having a shot himself.
What a bit of overdoing it.
Around.
I mean, he just overdo it a little. I mean, Parlour again, central area, looking around. I thought, go on, pull the trigger. But then it was a case of, no, you have a go. No, I don't fancy it, you have a go. Finally, Ray, probably in the worst position of all, is one who decides to hit it.
We're going to run out of footballs here, Andy, because every time a shot goes into the crowd, the ball isn't coming back.
7 years they want, isn't it, all the fans? I actually think they've just sent someone up the tunnel, Mark, they're going to get a few more. I think that might be a practice that we'll see quite a bit of this afternoon.
Keogh. Dixon having to deal with the presence of Ferguson. It's a free kick. Everton, of course, dropping below Bolton yesterday. Everton, on paper, have the easier final fixture of those two clubs. To Coventry, who are used to defending for their own lives on the last day of the season and being involved in a match that will determine the fate of a rival. Bolton are away to Chelsea. Barmby. And it's Christopher Ray. And now Overmars. Ray. Petit suddenly shown a capacity to score goals. Been rated for a long time, his 39th game for Arsenal before he got his first, and now Ferguson, who was once sent off on this ground playing for Everton, is involved in a flare-up with Martin Keown, who's been taken away from it sensibly by Adams, and Gerald Ashby calling Ferguson across.
Well, they get wrapped up with each other more than anything. It was a bit like a wrestling match on the floor. I'm amazed that it's anything more than a yellow card, I have to say.
And a number of the Arsenal players, it is a yellow card as you can see, but a number of the Arsenal players have gone to Keown, who can be a bit fiery, just to say don't spoil the day.
Well, they won't want to get involved, they both go in there and clash there. But I think after that, I mean, it's 6-1, look at them, one's grabbing one, they're all arms and legs all over the place.
Dixon. Anelka had the bend, but didn't quite have the direction.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good first half for Arsenal, Martin. I have to say, they started the game absolutely superbly. The pace, Anelka and Overmars and Ray's troubled Everton right from the first minute. The movements troubled them. Great start with a goal after 5 minutes. They've just gone on from there. As an attacking force, Everton haven't looked to create anything. I feel sure that they'll change it at half-time, Howard Kendall. I think he must do. He's going to get back into this game. I suppose the only thing that Arsenal fans will be thinking about now, the only thing left is for Ian Wright to come on, I guess, second half at some time and mark the game in some way.
Well, of course, he's been on Arsenal's back burner for 4 months. 3 different injuries has wrecked the second half of his season. Ray Parlour is another of the players who personally has sorted himself out and reaped the benefit. Watson. Well, of course, managing Everton on an interim basis. Look at the number of players that Arsenal got forward here. Vieira. Overmars, one of 5 attackers. All the efforts of Bilic, the ball stayed in play, Winterburn.
But that all started, Martin, from Watson played a ball into midfield to Don Hutchison, and suddenly he was absolutely surrounded. Vieira, who else, won the ball yet again, and off they were. 3-4, red and white shirts joining in the action.
Not too much on for a cross for Nigel Winterburn. Tries to come up with a little run of his own, and for that show of enterprise, is awarded a free kick.
I think he won that brilliantly. This is what I mean, he's not going anywhere, but he thinks, I'm going to push it through your legs, I'm not going to catch it, but I'll take the free kick. It is, but I don't think there was any way he was getting the ball.
With the free kick. Keown doing the retrieving here. That's very neat footwork from Martin Keown, trying to steer it in towards the near post.
Not bad. Not bad. Well, it ain't bad, isn't it? 7 out of 8 tackles, all won cleanly, only 1 free kick given away.
His judgment and his tackling has improved again this season. A lot of yellow cards last season, and a few in this campaign as well. And a couple of red ones, but he is a very young player, and to think he can get better still. Short. That might have summed it up for Everton. Overmars. Stop, Barmby didn't. Hutchison, cleared by Keown. And Petit has just thrown his pad off in a gesture of protest, really, at the treatment that he's had in this first half.
He's annoyed with Don Hutchison's tackle. I have to say, Martin, it's twice now Hutchison's done it. And what he does is he jumps in 2-footed. I don't like to see it. You watch here. I don't want a player going in with a single foot. Watch Hutchison. I think that's dangerous. I know he gets the ball, but I hate to see players jump in 2-footed like that.
Well, it's a sour note amidst the celebrations. I don't think the pad's strong enough to protect against tackles of that nature. Barmby.
And then half-time comes at a good time for both teams.
Anelka on the run. Fowler's gone ahead of him. Lee Dixon too, and he's just been forced wide by the pass, but he can cut it back here for Ray, and again a case of over-elaboration, which is sometimes a problem when a team is so much in control as Arsenal feel they are here. And even though half-time is close, looks as though they're not going to take any more risk with Petit. Might have made it 3-0 there was Christopher Ray. Well, he's angry, Manu Petit, and he's hurt. David Platt, who's been a loyal, supportive member of the squad, so he's going to get the chance to play on the big day.
Well, they're trying to get David Platt on, Martin. No, he gets a chance.
David uncomplainingly has done what Arsenal has needed of him. Often a substitute. Remember that winning goal against Manchester United that meant so much back in the autumn. Never won a domestic honour in this country. And Watson takes the free kick. Whistle goes for half-time.
From Everton, but they missed the target width. They have been blown away in that first 45 minutes. 3 players booked: Hutchison, John O'Kane and Ferguson. Lee Dixon from Arsenal. No surprise to see the possession and the action areas also dominated by Arsenal. We have with us today Frank McClintock, MBE, double winning captain in 1971, and Alan Smith, as we said earlier.
Of O'Kane, Bilic and Beagrie. John Oster comes on, Gareth Farrelly comes on, and Mikhail Madar. I mentioned in the first half how disappointed he was about not being in the starting lineup. He's scored half a dozen goals for a club who found that commodity hard to come by. And he was believing that Aimé Jacquet, the French national team coach, would be here today. If he is here, he will have heard that disquieting news about Emmanuel Petit, who's having an X-ray. And one prays for his sake that it isn't an injury that would threaten his World Cup. And we understand also from the far side they've sent for some more footballs because the crowd are clinging on to their souvenirs every time the ball goes out of play, it seems. It is a white football. Everton at least relieved about that. They were made to play with that experimental yellow ball in the last game at home to Sheffield Wednesday and didn't enjoy the experience at all. Probably coloured their view by the result.
Yeah, it looks like Nicky Bamb is going to play left side in the midfield of 4. Gareth Farrelly in alongside Don Hutchison and John Oster on the right here. That'll leave them with a form of 4 at the back. I'm not so sure who'll play in the left back area. Looks like Carl Tyler started there, Madar up front with Ferguson. So the plan, whatever it was from Everton, has been well and truly scrapped.
I think
Put to bed.
Early goal did that,
Yeah.
Andy.
Put to bed, and now they need a goal from somewhere.
One side issue we haven't really mentioned is should Everton lose, then Wimbledon and Tottenham would be totally safe. And all mathematical doubts about their future. That last relegation place would then just be between Everton and Bolton. Farrelly, signed from Aston Villa, Republic of Ireland international. Trying to help Everton stem the flow, but they need to do more than that, really. Adams just arriving, and Keogh, plenty of movement from Arsenal. Winterburn takes it. Can't stop Dave Watson and Madar. Ferguson reacting and at least sending the ball out of the Everton penalty area. Over Mars. They do, I suppose, if you're looking hypercritically at Arsenal, this really isn't the time to do it, but they don't have a player who can really attack the ball a la John Hartson at the far post for crosses like that. Vieira, but they do have, of course, many other attacking attributes. Christopher Wray.
What they have more than makes up for that, I tell you. But they have a potential one in the Anelka, there's no doubt that boy can climb.
And he can run, but that's too far ahead of him. Having come on just before half-time, David Platt spent the half-time interval not listening to the team talk, but out here on the pitch, doing his stretching and making sure he was fully prepared for this second half.
What team talk? They're needed, I guess, Mark. This team's honed. What happens when the team's on a run? They're on the line for their 10th league win. in succession. They're just honed. They don't need to be told an awful lot. Just fine-tune, reminded of what's at stake, what to do. That's it.
Well, they take each game as it comes. I suppose they take each half as it comes and don't think beyond that. Keogh. Headed by Tyler. In goes Adams. For Arsenal for the 550th time today. A massive career and more to come. The mere presence of Winterburn enough to force the error. Just look back at this stage over big events in the season, and Nigel Winterburn's winning goal at Chelsea. Tremendous moment that was, turning what looked like a certain draw, and a creditable draw it would have been, into a fantastic win against another London club who are looking to become prospective league champions. Dixon. And Everton not wanting to go down without a fight, but it's got to be the right sort of fight. Overmars. Headed away by Ferguson. Taken on here by Oster. Nadal didn't hold the ball up well enough.
It just hasn't happened for them at all, even when they've had the ball and it hasn't been often that. It's broken down too easily. Nadal, a classic example. John Elst, I know they're only on a substitute early in the game, but it's still got to mean a bit more. You've still got to hold on to that ball. You've got to dig a hole somewhere. You've got to get a foothold in the game.
Ferguson, Harvey trying to support him. Foot was raised, free kick, indirect to Everton.
Oh, it's just about shooting distance. Nadal's gone over to it, which suggests that, although just on, he's hitting it.
I don't know if he's noticed, but the referee's still holding his arm up.
Probably not.
Well, it was deflected, which gave some rationale to the effort, but I think he thought it was a direct free kick. It's an Everton corner, and with Duncan Ferguson around, Dave Watson coming up to try and make his presence felt right in front of David Seaman. Declined by Vieira, and Nelka involved. Parla, the season he's had, by the way, forced himself into the England squad, maybe too late to get himself into the elite 22. Ferguson. Christopher Ray, who's not yet played a full 90 minutes of a Premiership game. And if he doesn't today, that suggests that Ian Wright will be seen. Anelka. Now Dixon. Flat. For Anelka. Well, again, impressive power in the shot, and it just needs to move the ball to one side with his quick feet to make the shooting opportunity.
That's all you do. It's tough to get that on target. In all fairness, Tyler had closed them out pretty well. If it was on target, it was being blocked.
It's been another facet for Arsenal, hasn't it, Andy? The way the backup boys have suddenly become men for the job.
I think that's always a secret in a championship on inside, Martin, is the players that come in have to do a job. I think if you look down the history of sides that have won that title, they've all had players like that have come in, and you've lost key players and done a wonderful job.
Christopher Ray, who got winning Bolton in the Cup semi-final, so that there wasn't a worry about Ian Wright not being available then. Not the sort of side to get complacent, Arsenal, but if there are any little signs of it, Everton trying to muster the resolve they need of their own to possibly exploit that. Adams very much on his game to get to the header. There are other Arsenal players prepared to take on that job in that situation as well. Back from Barbie, there's Adams, once more the rock. Tracked down by Oster. Vieira. That must have been close.
Must have been. Ball travelled a long way. It's one of the most difficult ones to judge for the linesman. I don't think he's off when the ball's played, but they are tough to judge.
Especially when the player who's receiving the ball is so close to the official, as Dixon was then. Curved forward by Ball. Looks as though Adams was going to boss that situation. Platt wasn't taking any chances. His pass, kept in by Overmars. Possibilities for Arsenal here. Overmars, in the end, looking for a supporting player. It was Ray Parlour. Oster, and must have been a close one as well.
Yeah, Tony Adams is the one who's closest to the linesman. But as the ball's played, I think he's just off. Got a yard in it.
Played short, to be sure-footed then. Hutchison. Here's Madar, good movement from here. Ferguson moving into the centre. Oster getting there as well. Adams exactly where Arsenal have needed him to be. Farrell. Vieira. Not quite the zip for Arsenal at the moment, and in truth, you do get the feeling that if Everton were good enough to get one, Arsenal would just raise their game and reassert themselves. Over for goal! The championship belongs to Arsenal Football Club.
And there's only one winner. From the moment he went at Dave Watson, I thought, go on, go past him, you'll beat him. He does just that, and that's a wonderful finish. Myra thinks he's got the post covered, but this is a controlled shot across the goalkeeper. Look to place it past him, and you're absolutely right, Mr. Tyler. This we do agree on. The championship belongs at Highbury.
Well, they've got their Euro stars, and the service is first class. Arsenal 3, Everton 0. Overmars is the star of the show.
Well, they just didn't. We talked about it all. They just didn't have the pace at the back, Everton. I thought that would be a problem. I don't think any of the centre-backs that would pick has the pace to cope with an Elka or an Overmars on a straight run. And I think that was a classic example of it. He didn't use any trickery, Mark Overmars. He just used his pace. And that was enough. And that surely is it.
Tony Adams, who held up the trophy
in 1989. That was an extraordinary night, of course, at Anfield. In the 1991 here at Highbury, but Arsenal began their last game already crowned as champions, so this is a situation that's slightly different, more dramatic too, because the game was there before them when they arrived at the ground, knowing that the job still had to be done, knowing that there was some sort of safety net with the two remaining away fixtures, but that the tension would mount and the temperament would really be put to the test if the 3 points weren't gained here. But 3 goals now, surely those 3 points, and there may be more to come. Hutchison, who's been pretty much the villain of the piece as far as Arsenal and particularly Petit is concerned, gives away another free kick. Oh, a mixture of applause, tears of joy, and after playing second fiddle to various parts of the north of England, mostly the northwest, what a season it is turning out to be for London football. Chelsea have won the Coca-Cola Cup, they're in the Cup Winners' Cup final, Arsenal in the FA Cup final, and on the verge of picking up the trophy. As I said at the start, the one that the professionals really want to win. The indication that week in, week out, they have been the best. The League Championship trophy. Ray, Overmars, on a hat-trick, of course. Michael Ball is one of the quicker members of the Everton side, and he's done well there, and it's a goal kick.
I think the only decision Arsene Wenger's got now, Mark, is I think he's going to give a couple more subs a game. He'll bring on a couple. He's got Grimondi, Bold and Wrighty. And I think he's going to say, OK, I think he'll certainly give Wrighty, I don't know how long, but he'll give him some time, and then I think it'll be a decision near the end of the match. Who else will he give 5, maybe 10 minutes to, as a little thank you to join in the party?
You didn't mention Alex Manninger, who also deserves a vote of thanks. 6 Premiership appearances as deputy for David Seaman, not 1 goal conceded, and the Premier League authorities, to their credit, they didn't need asking by Arsenal. They surely would have been asking, but they said, we believe that Manninger should have a medal for what he's done, and of course he's been waiting on the bench for the vast majority of the games. Now that's Oster who's going to be singled out here.
That was reckless. Impetuous. He's a young lad. A tough situation for him to be in. It's a little nibble, but he'll get booked for it. I just think Bolger would be the one for me, Martin, with his years of service to this club. The others that might come again for Grimondi and Manninger, as you mentioned, might not for Bolger. He's been a magnificent servant, and I think it'd be fitting if he was on here in the last couple of minutes of this match, even if it was only for a couple of minutes. It'd be fitting.
Right, I'll tell you when Steve Bold wants to be on. The cup final. If he missed out in '93, he's of course got 2 championship winners' medals, and they're all laughing now, and my goodness, they deserve those smiles. Arsenal winning and playing fashionable football as well. Wow. This is Martin Keough. Parler get there with a toe. He has back Paul Vieira, who scored an absolute cracker here against Newcastle from even further out than that. There's Adams to mop it up again. Overmars pressing right up on Michael Ball. Trying to steer it to Platt.
Well, if the title's over, Martin, what about Everton? What a week they've got coming up now. To take this sort of spanking into your final game if it ends up such. That's not the best preparation.
Kemble, who took Everton to the Championship, as you know only too well. Maybe you were there in 1985. 2 years later, only if that 85 side won again. Nadal. Spin back into the path of the willing Winterburn. Hutchison's mistake. It's Anelka. He's got 3 to take on. Good save. It looked as though it was going past Muir.
Well, short clear of his face there, I think. I think Short's going to clear this up, you know. Because it's just cut out here. I think he's done that. Short can go and clear it out, but I think he's so worried about Anelka just poking it past him. He decided to back off. At the end, it's the right decision because Anelka's been forced wide.
Here's ball. Now Ferguson, back to ball again. Michael Bull, who did score his only senior goal so far in a great comeback when Arsenal were 2-0 up at Goodison Park and Everton pulled it back to get a point, 2-2 back in September.
Yeah, that's a free kick. No doubt about that. Just edged Anelka out. And the ball was a good 5-10 yards away.
One Arsenal fan said to me, Andy, make sure you emphasise that Manchester United haven't lost this title, we have won it.
Who said that they had lost the title?
Well, it's something that could be said, given that United had such a big lead.
Listen, it's Manchester United as much as anyone, Mark. No, you don't win a title if you're 12 points ahead at Christmas. That doesn't guarantee you it. You win the title if you're the best team over 38 games. That's what wins the title. And this is a goal that I believe has clinched it. Without doubt, blistering pace, a wonderful finish. I think even he knows it now.
Bryce, the right-hand man, of course, a member of the Arsenal double-winning side back in 1971. Will it be a double again this season? Overmars looking for a treble in this game, and this time finding Anelka in the middle. What a weapon he's been, and we shouldn't neglect the other Dutchman. Bergkamp's had so many awards, and no one would dispute his right for those. But they can manage without him. No one-man band, and of course, in past seasons, the long loss of Ian Wright would have finished off Arsenal's hopes of honours. They've dealt with those difficulties this season. Nadal, who is a predatory player, to make a goal for himself if he can.
You know, young players, man, I hope you do watch. And this Arsenal performance today has typified it. People think good players don't work hard. What we find is good players work harder than any other player on the pitch. Good players work harder than bad players, because that's what makes them good players. You watch everyone in a red and white shirt, any team that's won the championship, Manchester United, who have dominated it for close on 4 or 5 years now, exactly the same. You win it because you work harder. You have ability and skill, but you work harder than anyone else.
Carlo. That's David Platt trying to take it on. He needs 1 goal for 150 in league football, incidentally. Just to remind you what's coming up for you, live football from the FA Carling Premiership, the last week of the season, Monday night, 4:30 tomorrow, Manchester United against Leeds, and Wednesday, Liverpool against Arsenal from Anfield, 7:30, Sky Sports 1. Manchester United have had some reasonable results over the last couple of months. Arsenal's results have been absolutely sensational. No team since the start of the Premiership has ever won 10 in a row. And here we are, what, 20 minutes or so away from Arsenal doing that.
Mark, they've done it. I know we're 20 minutes to go, but I honestly, I can't see it any way at all Arsenal going to concede 3 goals. a magnificent achievement.
And they've got 6 back in front of David Seaman to try and make sure they're not even going to concede 1. One-sided game, Andy?
Yeah, just a bit. Sometimes stats don't lie, Martin. Disappointing the few shots I've had in target though, at 17.
Barmby. Madar, good play from Everton. And down goes Barmby, and the ball breaks for Oster. Duncan Ferguson in his favourite territory at the far post. Oster put it too high. That's as good as Everton have managed in terms of crisp attacking play.
Yeah, it certainly was. Mickey Barmby, right in the thick of it. But how quickly they get shut out, how quickly defenders get across, and Ferguson's there, the ball's better. You wouldn't fancy Ferguson to come in on that. Just a little bit too heavy for Oster.
Adams, who counts clean sheets like strikers count goals. Ray. Here's Farrelly. Everton have got 3 in the centre. Keown doesn't deal with it. Adams again. Flat. Oh, spotted by Ball. Oster. No adventure from Everton here. Ball goes flying out off Patrick Vieira. So cheers. The signs that Ian Wright is getting ready.
Well, he's quick over Martin. Even he isn't that quick.
But he still wanted to chase it.
Yeah, I think Wright is on very shortly. Tops off.
A look to the heavens to say thank you. So he's fit enough to come back. But Duncan Ferguson trying to power away through. Keown shuts the door in his face. Not supporting Overmars. Ray. Overmars. Now Parlour. Dixon. Good closing down by Hutchison. Nigel Winterburn just having a look round to see whether John Oster was going to be a threat. He wasn't. The ball out of play. Ian Wright into play. A brief appearance in February as a substitute against Chelsea, but blighted by injuries that started at Port Vale in the FA Cup. And Everton, goodness knows they've seen enough of him, felt enough pain caused by him. 12 goals in 9 matches for Arsenal against Everton, and he's on against them again. Madar. Back heel for Barmby. Well, they're starting to make Arsenal work harder defensively. 18 minutes left. Tyler finding Ian Wright across very quickly. Arsenal fans, reach for the phone, and all you other football lovers who I'm sure appreciate that it's the best team that wins the league. The league table never lies. 0891 111101. Ferguson. There's no slouch and wants to take on Adams. I think of Duncan Ferguson only as an aerial threat, but he's quick when he gets into his stride. And maybe not quite as quick as this fella on the ball here.
Yeah, they've got blistering pace, Arsenal, they think over Mars and anything else, and then suddenly you're confronted with righty. What does he do? Spins in behind you. There's no doubt that Arsenal take their foot off the pedal slightly, Martin, in the second half at 3-0. I think that's to be accepted.
Alex Manning certainly deserves a mention, because we talked about the absence of Bergkamp, the absence of Wright, but of course David Seaman was missing at a critical stage of the season, and a young, untried Austrian goalkeeper came in and found himself with a Player of the Month award.
Nicky Bambi, boots.
Genuine frustration for Everton. Gesture of dissent from Bambi, and another blot on the Everton record. Madar, 5 cautions. Farrell. Hutchison. Madar. Here's Barnby. They've kept it well, Everton. Can they work a shooting position? Barnby thought he was going to have one. Madar letting rip. Watson trying to get to Ian Wright, and he did well enough. That's a missed kick by Short that could have been embarrassing, but Watson helped him out.
Well, that was the best piece of football that Everton have had the whole match, Mark, that we've just seen there. As you say, kept the ball very patient, probing, with lots of men forward in the attacking third. But as I say, I can't help thinking that an awful lot of that is to do with the fact that Arsenal have done the job they would feel, the players on the pitch. They've worked the socks off early on in the opening hour to get this lead. Now they're just protecting it.
I know this is the 99th season of league football in England, and for 95 of those 99 seasons Everton have been in the top division. 1 lapped in the 30s, 3 in the 50s. And are they next weekend going to drop down into Division 1? Fate will not be in their own hands unless a real football miracle occurs. Last 10 minutes or so here, they have to get 3 goals against the side that is about to celebrate winning the championship, unless that happens.
Well, last team to do that as well was Blackburn, wasn't it, in the last defeat here at Highbury.
Free kick taken by Winterburn to his old pal Lee Dixon. Gave it everything a shot. A very good block, but a revival of Arsenal's attacking ambition from 2 of the older statesmen.
What a ball it was from Nigel Winterburn.
I think he's a real candidate for Arsenal's Player of the Season. And, I know the awards are being handed out to Bergkamp left to right and centre, and you don't get much in terms of trophies if you're a left-back season in, season out. But he's a tremendous left-back.
I think he's only missed 1 league game, has he, this season, or 2? 33 league games, this is 34th. That's tremendous consistency as well.
And he is 34 years old. Arsene Wenger, of course, has maximised the energies of Arsenal with his meticulous preparation. I suppose we came here wondering whether there'd be a scenario where George Graham could win another championship for Arsenal, but they wouldn't do it themselves here today. Ferguson's offside, and the
mind of Wendy Toms, who patrols this near touchline. It's almost as if, Andy, their supporters are just drawing breath at this stage, getting ready for what they're about to see in just over 10 minutes' time. All the presentations will take place at the end of the game here. You'll see it all on Sky Sports. An extraordinary day of football. And Ian Wright returning to fitness maybe at the right time for Glenn Hoddle. Well, Andy, looks as though you're going to get your wish about Steve Bold. And here's Ferguson, and it's not put past David Sim, and the flag went up. Certainly worth another look.
Well, this must be close. Again, they've worked it well, tight.
Onside.
He's not offside. But I have to say, look how quickly Keown's round. It wouldn't have made any difference. He got round, he got the block on. I think this is a lovely touch, Mark, I have to say. I think it's a reward for loyalty, long service, and for being a damn good professional, I have to say.
Are you sure it's that, or is it just Arsene Wenger making sure that there's no late slip because he's taking off Christopher Wright?
No. Christopher Wright's a new boy on the block as well, Mark. He's putting the old boys at the back there. Keown and Adams, and now Bold, and flanking them. Dixon and Winterburn. Who would have thought all those years on? Those four defenders would yet again be on a pitch as Arsenal are about to clinch another championship. Quite incredible.
Hatches. Ferguson. That was a foul by Adams. Well, Manu Petit at least well enough to come back and watch. No news yet on the outcome from those X-rays. Farrelly. Madar. Turning Winterburn this time. Bold on guard. Matt is there as well. And they can play their way out to Arsenal. Bold, Vieira, Parler. Dixon setting off. Leaving space that Vieira can fill. Flat. The midfield player.
New strength to his ball. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Well, maybe you can.
Maybe you can. And, oh, now Adams. This could just cast a shadow across Arsenal's celebrations. Gerald Ashby taking a sympathetic view of that. Adams was furious, and Madar's now still looking at Adams as much as he's looking at the Everton build-up.
I think he's just had a quick word with the referee, and I think that's right. Certainly at a time like now.
Park. Overmars. Turning back infield into trouble, but the ball will be kept in play by David Platt. Everton had just switched off for a moment. Platt hadn't. Parler. Well, they can afford the mistakes now. They've made so few of them, particularly since Christmas. Man of the match, 0891 11 11 01. Well, he's quite a fiery character, Mikhail Madar. He's chasing Arsenal players, chasing officials. Oster. It's a bit unlucky then. Well, the flamboyant piece of clearing by Keown. Wright wins the header, touched back by Overmars. Platt trying to give Ian Wright some sort of supply here. It's another worrying situation for Watson. At least he's been able to get in the way of Wright's attempt to trick him. I don't know whether he's gone to sleep, has he?
Well, all right, we'll see he's gone to sleep.
He's entitled to be bitterly disappointed with his season, supporting Everton. Vieira almost through for Wright. The crowd now counting down these last few minutes. In tribute to Arsenal, a rich combination of the old and the young, a tasty mix of the best of English and a strong continental football flavouring. Barmby for ball. Winterburn keeping his concentration going. Ball shaping for a long throw towards Ferguson. He gets a foot to it. Madar is in the thick of things. It's the other number 7, Platt for Arsenal. Parlour. Just knocked off it. Shoulder to shoulder with the Oster. Keown. Here's Carl Tyler. It's very much a white and black story here today, with the situations of the two clubs. Arsenal, though conclusive in their triumph, Everton, their fate, if it is to be that relegation that their fans are so fearful of. Let's wait till next weekend. Well, never before, from your votes, has any player won the man of the match with 95% of the votes. But that's the story for Mark Overmars today. And the man of this crucial match for the club takes the corner. David Platt flying in. It's another Arsenal corner.
Let's count down now.
Without Petit, Overmars doing duty on both sides and showing him to lose his left foot. Steve Bold. He will have been very pleased to hear that Arsene Wenger believes that his older players have got another good 2 years in them.
Not in the centre of midfield, I would hate to say that.
Dixon and Steve Bold both have testimonials this season. A fantastic year for them.
Seaman grateful for some work.
I think that's the first time I've seen him use his hands today, man, David Seaman.
The pass by Platt, on goes right. And Mura with two good defensive headers from the goalkeeper. Hutchison. Now Bold. And it's Arsenal. Awesome. The cream of the crop.
You could not pen a better finish for an Arsenal Championship victory than this one here. A defence-splitting pass from Steve Bold, and what a magnificent finish from the captain. What a way to cap the season for Tony Adams. Quite unbelievable.
What a way to sum up the footballing philosophy of Arsene Wenger. He has turned Adams into an even better player. And the Arsenal captain, Mr. Arsenal they call him here, puts the cherry on the icing on the championship cake. Well, he didn't flinch in front of goal either, did he? This is Farrelly with a cross that Keown defends. Ferguson trying to strike it goalwards Adams style.
Well, I did say that there's no one in red and white who I felt was out there believed he couldn't do anything. I think that sums it up. When you get Steve Bold sprinting your defence from the centre of midfield like that, and Adams making a forward run and smashing it in as well as any striker in the land, well, you've got a team that's full of belief. You've got a team quite simply that's champions.
Arsenal are the champions. They've won the Premiership with 10 victories in a row.
Prestation today.
0. 19 attempts, 8 on target, 6 corners. Poor old Everton were quite literally blown away. We'll have it live with Bolton at Chelsea. First half here, Everton. Action areas in the second half also. Robbie.
The only recognised first-teamer who isn't available for selection. David Seaman returns after injury, Lee Dixon and Ian Wright following suspension, and Arsene Wenger has decided to stand by youngsters Scott Marshall and Stephen Hughes, even though he had more experienced players available. The likes of Steve Bold, Ray Parlour and Remy Gard are all on the subs bench.
Well, the only doubt when we got here tonight was just who were going to be the three central defenders, Alan. There was this rumour going around that perhaps Remy Gard may play. That's the Frenchman. If you remember, in the season he did play in the back. I think Wenger was concerned that perhaps Berger would play and play in a deep line row, but once he realised that Collymore was going to start up front with Fowler, he decided then to play Marshall. He realised that Bode, not quite 100% match fit after being out for a few games, wasn't right for tonight, so that's what he's gone with. 3 at the back, 5 in midfield, a very offensive trio in midfield there of Platt, Vieira and Hughes, and the 2 regular players up front, Bergkamp and Wright.
Now Liverpool, Dominic Matteo is their major absentee. He's out with a back injury, and his place is taken by Steve Harkness, who starts his first Premiership game since breaking his leg at Coventry almost a year ago. The only other selection dilemma for Roy Evans was who to pick between Stan Collymore and Patrick Berger, and as you can see, it's Collymore who gets the manager's vote.
Yes, once again, Roy Evans spoke for choice at the back. He's played this season Ruddock, Matteo, Babb, but whoever he seems to play, he seems to have a real resilience at the back, the best defensive record in the Premiership. But once again, for me, the key to this match tonight is McManaman. In the corresponding game at Anfield, he scored 2 goals. We're always talking about who's the candidate to mark him. They could perhaps Arsenal bring Keown out of the back 3. I don't think they'll do that. And I mentioned the offensive trio they've got in there, Platt, Vieira and Hughes. So there's no real defensive player in there. I think McManaman may be the key to a Liverpool victory tonight.
Well, there's no need to overhype this game. And they're ready. The clatter of studs on concrete down this short tunnel and out onto one of the most perfect pitches in the Premiership. Well, it's been billed as the title eliminator, and whoever loses this would surely also lose the chance to deny Manchester United another championship. There's a full house, everything to play for. This is what Monday Night Football is all about. We've got Arsenal against Liverpool, the kick-off just moments away.
Arsenal versus Liverpool, live. For Monday Night Football.
Yes, Arsenal and Liverpool. Are you watching Manchester? You bet they are. Highbury's the scene of our live game tonight. There's also a match taking place at the Riverside this evening. Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest. Forest 1-up. Alf Ingler-Haaland, the scorer for them. It's to Highbury then. To join our match, commentators Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Thank you, Richard. Welcome back to Highbury. Liverpool have a tremendous record in recent years against Arsenal, and if ever there was a night to maintain that record, this is it. And amongst a capacity crowd of 38,000 inside Highbury, some very important visitors. The England manager, Glenn Hoddle, and the FA's technical director, Howard Wilkinson, and there are no fewer than 7 of the England squad due to face Mexico at Wembley on Saturday, taking part in tonight's game. So it'll be an anxious Glenn Hoddle watching and hoping that he gets no more injuries to upset his plans, but also realising that as far as Steve McManaman and the other 21 players who'll start this game are concerned, this is all about the top prize in English football, and there'll be total commitment from every player on view. Not the least from Ian Wright, and how Arsenal are delighted to have him back in the starting lineup after a 2-match suspension. Their leading scorer again with 25 goals. Arsenal third at the start of play, and welcoming back David Seaman, who's missed the last 6 games with a knee injury. It's his 550th league appearance tonight. Arsenal on 57 points, Liverpool exactly the same. And it'll be Arsenal in the red shirts and white shorts who'll get the game underway, attacking the goal to our left. The rain falling heavily here now, and it'll just provide the slick on the surface that players love. And as I mentioned just before the break, the pitch here at Highbury in absolutely magnificent condition, Trevor.
Yes, it certainly is. Obviously, the groundsman wasn't aware of the weather forecast, Alan, because some hour and a half ago he was absolutely saturating the pitch with water.
An early missed kick there by David James, who, despite some recent public howlers, is, of course, in the England squad to face Mexico. Good challenge there by Fowler, but Arsenal keep possession. The young man, Scott Marshall, selected ahead of Steve Bold tonight. Big boost for him. Obama's clearance has gone straight to Patrick Vieira. There's Marshall again. And lets his captain, Tony Adams, have an early touch of the ball.
Yeah, I think we expected Adams to line up on the left-hand side of the 3 at the back, Alan, but in fact, at the moment, he's playing in the centre, Keown on the right and Marshall on the left-hand side.
Keown, one of those 7 England men on view tonight, restored to the squad, of course. And Arsenal enjoying a lot of early possession here. Dixon back in the side after suspension has given it away this time. Mark Wright takes no chances early on in such an important match. Vieira hooks it in first time. That should be a routine clearance, and is for McAteer. Collymore used his arms to control the ball, and that was spotted by referee Gerald Ashby.
I don't think Stan seems to agree with that decision, but Mr. Ashby, well positioned.
Keown looks for Wright in the centre. He got up higher than Kamala. Platt with the shot.
Well, Platt took up a great position just outside the box. It was only Ian Wright who went up to challenge for this. Drops nicely for him on the volley. Then it took a deflection off Mark Wright. The second attempt, David James holds on to it.
Well, he's only got one Premiership goal this season, David Platt, and that was live on Sky in the 4-1 demolition of Sheffield Wednesday way back in September. David Seaman, who has another important date tomorrow. He's at Buckingham Palace to collect his MBE. Foul there by Harkness has given Arsenal a free kick.
Just looking to see who Arsenal are going to send up this free kick. It appears that Adams and Marshall have both stayed back.
And no wonder, because they have the alternative of a great run here from Bergkamp, who just slightly overrun it in the end. And Liverpool can break with McManaman. McAteer to his right, Collymore and Fowler ahead of him. Fowler in a great position on the far post, but the cross too deep.
Well, it was a typical Liverpool break, plenty of pace, but the final ball from McAteer wasn't a typical Liverpool cross. 3 players in the box, but slightly overhit to the back post.
This one of the narrower pitches in the Premiership, in fact, at Highbury. Barnes for Liverpool. And back it goes to right. Kavama to his right. And McAteer available. Closed down quickly by Winterburn. And Kavama opts to hit it long for Collymore. Good header clear by Marshall. Vieira for Arsenal. Strong in the challenge against McAteer. Winterburn sees the run from the youngster Hughes. Good challenge by Mark Wright. That was a dangerous ball by Kavama, and Liverpool playing football in an area where one error can be fatal, and they have given it away. But the challenge by McAteer on Bergkamp wins possession again and sets McManaman free. It's lovely to see teams with the confidence to play football like that on the edge of their own penalty area, but it can be a risky game. McAteer looking for Fowler, and again has got the angles wrong. Still has the bandage from the 9 stitches he received in a head wound in the recent game at Nottingham Forest. There's Keown. White slipped, but still keeps possession. Vieira. Marshall. And the Frenchman continues the attack for Arsenal. Lee Dixon. Platt stabbing it long. Harkness got it away. Now McManaman. Jamie Redknapp. That's a good ball. Fowler. Oh, lovely skill. Barnes ahead of him. And here he is in a great position to give Liverpool the lead. Well, Collymore peeled away beyond Barnes and got himself into an even better position, and that really was a miss and a half for a man you would have expected to hit the target here, Trevor.
Well, the build-up play from Liverpool was very, very impressive. Fowler, McManaman involved. Great release to Collymore. His first touch wasn't bad. Second touch was a good opportunity for him. He should have hit the target. Absolutely perfect position for him to strike towards goal.
Well, I suppose you might make the excuse there was a slight bobble there, but really he should have done better.
What he should have done was a great opportunity. But I think there's a warning to Arsenal that every time they lose possession, McManaman is just playing a little area where no one's picking him up. Already that's a big warning to them.
Liverpool also had a man over with Barnes as well in that attack, and here he is again in possession, finding McManaman. You want to be down the left-hand side. Barnes couldn't quite return it. And here's Hughes for Arsenal. Now then, the referee has wave play on there. Or has he? He has. The ball had gone out of play after that anyway.
No, I think he's blown for a free kick.
Well, I thought so, because it was certainly obstruction at the very least by Harkness.
I think he actually posed Bergkamp back, and he's a little bit fortunate to get away with it.
That's what I was thinking. is offside.
You mentioned prior to the game, Alan, the fact that Arsenal have got a trio in there, Vieira, Platt and Hughes, all offensive players like to get forward and link with Bergkamp in right. What they're doing is that when they are going forward, there isn't a holding player. McManaman is just sitting off the front two of Collymore and Fowler, not being picked up. You have to be very, very careful of that, Arsenal.
Oh, lovely turn there by Bergkamp. Right, read the danger. Barnes had to chase to keep Vieira at bay. Hughes, now Winterburn. It's gone back to Scott Marshall. Most of the options marked here. That's why David Seaman is taking so long about executing this kick. Now Vieira. Adams. Marshall sees ahead of him. Hughes, Winterburn and Wright. The fullback has given it away to Kobama. Fowler. McManaman takes over. And left three Arsenal players bemused by his skill then. Collymore. Now Barnes. It's good quick-fire football by Liverpool, but the final ball from Redknapp was untidy. Now Bergkamp showing his lovely ability on the ball again and getting away from players. The final challenge by Kobama stopped him. Here's Platt. Wright is onside. Vieira and Bergkamp in the centre. That's good defending by McAteer. Good challenge as well. Marshall came straight through and took Collymore, the man and the ball then. Collymore not too happy about the tackle, but the referee didn't see anything wrong with it. And it's Arsenal who maintain the momentum with a throw deep in Liverpool territory. Bergkamp. Deflected out to Vieira. Thought about the shot, thought better of it. Platt trying to snake the ball through to Dixon. So Bjornaby. And now Mark Wright for Liverpool. Now was given it away, but gets it back off Winterburn. As ferocious as you'd expect for a game of this importance, including that one from Adams, which has got Liverpool a free kick. Foul on Robbie Fowler.
Well, Adams looks surprised. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything he could have done then. He just committed himself and couldn't get out of Fowler's way.
What I do know is that if Fowler had gone past him, Adams was the last man.
Bjornaby thinks about a shot. And maybe ought to have thought again. Well, there's certainly no wall put up by Arsenal. I think David Seaman's had a little complaint there. One or two turned their back. I think that encouraged Bjornaby to have the shot. Arsenal have lost only twice in 15 Premiership matches at Highbury this season, against Manchester United and Wimbledon. But Liverpool do have a very good record against them. Kobama under pressure in his own penalty area here. It's good play by young Hughes. Really wouldn't let him off the hook. But he's a cool customer, Liverpool's new man. Yes, I'm not sure if that was the right option, dribbling his own penalty box. I think David James expected a little back pass, but once he elected to dribble, he was quickly closed down by Hughes and put under pressure immediately. Now Wright. Well, you could see what he was trying there. It was a very deliberate effort to curl it towards the far corner, deflected for a corner.
Yes, he's actually deflected off the arm of Karama. Was it Mark Wright? Mark Wright. No suggestion of a penalty, but it definitely came off his arm.
Three men on the near post for this Arsenal corner. Interesting tactic. Adams, Keown and Marshall. And James only just fingertipped it away from that trio. Every Liverpool player inside his own half. That's why Arsenal got the ball back with ease. Winterburn. Good ball from Vieira from Marshall. And McManaman, as ever, the starting point for a Liverpool attack. John Barnes, the anchor in midfield. Hartlett's back in the side tonight as one of the three centre-backs. And Liverpool do have a great deal of strength in those positions when you think that Ruddock and Babb haven't made the starting lineup tonight. Matteo out injured, of course. McAteer. Barnes, right. Better clearance by James. Collymore touches it on to Fowler. He's going to have to go alone here. Decided to wait for support from McManaman, who's been beaten in the challenge by Vieira.
I don't know if you noticed then that Robbie Fowler had a quick look up, see if Seaman was off his line, realised he wasn't, decided not to shoot.
And Redknapp's given it away. Adams with a chance to come forward. Brushed aside by Dennis Bergkamp. Well, a lively opening 15 minutes here, and without doubt, the one golden opportunity fell to Liverpool and Stan Collymore. Now Platt has turned it straight back to him. A terrible error for which he could pay. But would you believe, Collymore, for the second time in the opening quarter of an hour, has missed a golden opportunity to give Liverpool the lead. And he's relieved.
He certainly is, and Tony Adams really got him out of trouble here. It was a terrible back pass from Platt, but Adams just gets a touch, and it's certainly a big touch. Just as Collymore was about to strike it, I think you'll see that Adams just gets his toe to it. Let's have a look. There it is, just enough.
Well, great defending, but I'm afraid you have to again point the accusing finger at Stan Collymore, who came off the bench to score in the European game against Brandenburgen, and that earned him his place in the starting lineup tonight. He hadn't started in the previous 4 games. Well, he could have justified Roy Evans' decision, and how, already.
Yes, I would say he had about a 3-yard start there on Tony Adams. Should never have allowed him to get back, to get a toe to that ball. Once again, another excellent opportunity.
Well, frustration for Liverpool. But plenty of time to make up for those errors for Collymore, and the knowledge for him that Berger is sitting on the bench. Here's John Barnes. It's a loose ball straight to Platt. The back heeler by Bergkamp gives Liverpool possession again with Barnes. Again, it's Platt who dispossesses him. Barnes' lack of pace showing a little bit in those 2 collisions with David Platt.
I'm sure Stan Collymore would be the first to say that if Berger had been on the field, he probably wouldn't have been as far advanced as what Collymore was there to have those chances.
Well, that was another remarkable incident with Platt again giving the ball away.